Hi there, Chris here with another battle report for y'all. In this battle, we'll be pitching Eldar, Saim Hann versus SpaceMarines, WhiteScars. Mission will be the Scouring, Deployment, Hammer, and Anvil. And this is just a quick overview of our battlefield. We'll be fighting around some churches. WhiteScars, led by Khan. We've got 4 squads of Space Marine bikers, 2 assault bikes with multi-meltas, 6 Marines in a Rhino, 10 Marines in a Rhino, and another 10 Marines with a Rhino. And these guys all have meltas and plasmas, 3 Storm Talons with assault cannons and missile launchers, despite the one that looks like he's got las cannons. So the deployment is 2 squads on the right flank, Khan and his little accompaniment of Marines, and then another squad flanking his left. He deploys further back, I don't know why, but Eldar Force, 2 Farseers. They both have almost identical psych powers, Mind War and Eldritch Storm. 2 Warlocks, one with Protect and the other one with Conceal. 9 jet bikes with cannons, Dire Avengers in Wave Serpents with Bright Lances and Hollow Fields, War Walkers with Shuriken cannons, and 3 Nightwings, proxying as Crimson Hunter Exarchs. Deployment is a little further onto the table for the Eldar, as most of our weapons are fairly short-ranged. Wave Serpents up the center, backed up by the War Walkers, flanked with the jet bikes. And the colored Farseer is the Warlord. We're just staring down the WhiteScars. First turn is Night Fight. And we roll a check for the objectives. And the most valuable ones, the number 4 is right closest to the Space Marine side in the sandbags in the center. Didn't show that. It wasn't not really a huge factor in this game. Not till the end anyway. So the Space Marines advance. Not a whole lot. Not a lot of range on their side, as most of their guns are only 24 inches, so Owen decides to flat out most of his guys. Kind of bringing everybody to the center, I do believe. Trying to mass up. He's just biding his time till his Storm Talons show up. And so Eldar, turn 1. Lose a Warlock right off the hop. Awesome. He does get the Conceal power to work. Everybody else advances. Nobody's really in range except the Wave Serpents. Bright Lances fire. Managed to kill 1 Marine and then managed to kill the other 2 Marines in that squad from the Serpent Shield. Everything else, the Warwalkers fleet of foot their way forward, and these jet bikes all get kind of clumped up, and the other jet bikes pretty much stay in the same position, awaiting the Space Marines. These bikers move up, grabbing some cover. We decided we could shoot through the windows, no problem, other than just conferring a cover save to the enemy. Khan advances, hugging that building. The other squad moves around. He gets all 3 of his Storm Talons in, and he gets 1 squad of in the Rhinos in. It was the 6-man squad, and he couldn't get it on the table side he wanted, so it was right over here on the right-hand side of his deployment. It comes carefully creeping in around that building there. Storm Talons target the Wave Serpents, and their shooting is not terribly effective. And it's the second turn, and he wasn't too. He was thinking that it was still Night Fight, but it wasn't. He does manage to wreck the Wave Serpent. Dire Avengers hop out. Bikers all fire at the closest jet bike unit, and since they still had Conceal on them, they had a 2 better cover save, and so they were really not too concerned with that. So on to Eldar, turn 2. Roll for my reserves. don't get a single thing in. That hurt really bad. Dire Avengers climb up along the building. Jet bikes move forward, targeting that one squad. Getting ready to blast them. Wave Serpent targets the jet bikes way, or the regular bikers way in the back over there. And the Warwalkers surge forward, trying to grab some cover. They battle focus their way forward. And it takes everything they've got just to kill that one assault bike. Wave Serpent manages to kill a single biker over there. Dire Avengers and the jet bikes all manage to wipe out this squad of bikers. And Eldritch Storm and some more Shuriken Cannon fire manages to put a wound on Khan and take out two of his little Marine buddies. And then they try and fall back a bit. White Scar, turn 3. Reinforcements show up right where he wants them. Storm Talons surge forward, getting ready to rock all those Warwalkers. These guys jump out of their Rhino, getting ready to hold on to that objective. Khan and the rest of the bikes move forward, lend their support, try and take out those Warwalkers and that Wave Serpent and some of those Dire Avengers, whichever target of opportunity does exist. The Marines all fire into the bright color squad, taking out all the cannons and jet bike, and manage to put a wound on the Farseer. The bikers in the back here manage to take out half of the Dire Avengers, and so they're not looking in too good shape. They do pass their morale check though. Storm Talons manage to wipe out all of the Warwalkers, and the Marines over there manage to get a lucky hit and knock a hull point off of that Wave Serpent. Eldar turn 3. Jet bikes surge forward, getting ready to deal some punishment to those pesky Marines. All of my Crimson Hunter Exarchs show up. Wave Serpent shoots those Marines in the back over there. Manage to take a few of them out. Crimson Hunters manage to take out a Storm Talon and take a hull point and knock the one has locked velocity, the one with the red die, and then he managed to get a hull point knocked off. These Farseers try and Eldritch Storm.
Denied.
Works.
Nope.
Stop that! Both of them are denied the witch. And so out of desperation, the jet bikes charge the Marines. Champion here, or the sergeant, attacks the Farseer, and he tries his luck there and ends up getting himself killed. Eldar managed to hold off. This guy moves up forward. Khan and his squad move through the building. He does take some tests, and he passes everything there. Rhino moves out. He's going to target some of the flyers, try and lend some support. These Marines surge forward, make sure they're holding on objective and grabbing some cover. They target one of the flyers and don't manage to do anything. That Storm Talon targets one of the flyers with his assault cannon, and this one targets one of the flyers with his assault cannon, manages to knock a hull point off one of them. All the Marines there, all scrapping. Khan and his squad come out and target the jet bikes. Charges in, wipes them all out, shockingly. And then they surge back into the building. Farseer manages to hold his own. That Dire Avenger ends up breaking because one of the guys got killed in that squad. And so he's on the run. Not looking too good for that squad. Denies the witch again on me. Crimson Hunters target those Marines. This Crimson Hunter targets this lone biker. Farseer is still holding his own here. This Dire Avenger falls back some more. Couldn't rally him, but I don't really expect him to do too much. And so these guys target the jet bikes inside and manage to kill Khan with some Mind War and Shuriken Cannon fire. Crimson Hunter takes out that last Marine. These Crimson Hunters target and kill half of the squad along with the Dire Avengers lending support. Wave Serpent targets the Rhino, manages to knock off a hull point. No biggie. Not terribly effective. WhiteScars turn 5. Marines get closer to the objectives. Game could possibly end. And so Rhino moving around, trying to create a wall. Storm Talon here goes into skimmer mode and to target that Wave Serpent And he targets the Wave Serpent as well, so both Storm Talons... No, he targets the jet bikes, that's right. All the Wave Serpent ends up getting destroyed, forcing the Dire Avengers to fall back as a bunch of them died. Awesome. Marines target the Flyers, not managing to do too much. I think knocked off a hull point. Marines win their combat against the Farseer and then consolidate over closer to the objective. Could not kill that Storm Talon. He made all his cover saves. I lose another Warlock to Perils, but he does manage to get his Protect power to work. Crimson Hunter manages to kill a few more of those Marines, and he does pass his checks. These jet bikes kill the rest of those Marine bikers. And so they use their assault move to get closer to the objective. Hang on, because the game can possibly end. If it does end, it's 2... No, it'll be 4-5. But the game continues on. This Marine, he moves over so he can stay in close to that objective. These guys form a wall. They're huddling that objective. They're going to try and hold. As Owen does have Kill the Warlord, possibly Lanebreaker. First Blood he also has. And so right now I think it is a 4-4 game. Crimson Hunters are flying around targeting these Storm Talons. Dire Avengers advance. Gonna target that last Marine, see what we can do. This Crimson Hunter moves around, targets the Marine. That Crimson Hunter targets the Storm Talon. Farseer targets those Marines in a nice little clump. Gonna try and get some Eldritch Storm on them. The other Crimson Hunter's no use this turn. And these guys position themselves so they can try and shoot that Rhino. The last Marine dies to the Crimson Hunter. Eldritch Storm manages to knock a hull point off, but he makes all his armor saves there. He's going to have to assault to try and contest and try and maybe shake them off of there. So he charges in. He ends up taking a wound from Overwatch Fire and does not manage to kill anybody. And we go into turn 7. And so Dire Avengers gonna try and run to capture that objective. Crimson Hunters manage to knock out the rest of the Flyers. Moves the Rhino into position to contest that objective. Farseer is still contesting that objective and holding off on those Marines. Go into final count. And this objective is contested. Control that one, as we did take out that Rhino with the jet bikes. And that would be it. Hearty handshake, and it is victory to the Saim Hann. I don't think they could physically climb in that space, dude.
All right, fine. You and your
no, go ahead.
You and your physics.
No, I don't care, dude. See what I mean?
There. That's as best as we're gonna get. Haven't quite got the gist of motorcycles yet. One day.
One day.
One day.
One day. It'll all make sense in the end.